This is the life, Robert, isn't it? Cruising on a tropical island. How beautiful. Could you do this forever?
Yes.
That's the short answer, yes.
I got what you want. Honey, I got what you need. Honey, I got what you want.
Hi, we are Rob and Ali, sharing with you our passion of all things cruise and travel.
Here we are sitting on the beautiful Mystery Island in the South Pacific country of Vanuatu, and it's an overcast day today, which is good because there's a lot of sun on here when it's bright sunlight, and you get the danger of being burnt.
So today we're going to be talking about, could you live on a cruise ship permanently?
Yes.
Yes is the answer. However, now, so they do have cruise ships now where you buy your cabin. It's not a timeshare arrangement. You actually buy your cabin as though it is an apartment, and the cruise ships go off and they will do a world tour.
There's one we've been looking at recently. It takes I think it's about 3.5 years to do a full circumnavigation. I forget how many countries and how many ports, but it's a lot.
So the one we've been looking at is you buy it for life, and they guarantee that you will have 15 years, and we think it circumnavigates, did you say it takes 3.5 years?
About 3.5 years, I think.
So there's lots and lots of stops on the way. You can decorate the room yourself, and you can also put your own furniture in. You can imagine building your own IKEA furniture in a cabin.
Now, bearing in mind that these are actually sort of pretty much in line with normal cabin sizes, so yes, you can decorate, but I'm not sure how much extra furniture you could put in, especially if you have an inside or an ocean view cabin.
I was surprised when it said you could paint them as well. So
Really?
It got us, yeah,
Wow.
you can actually paint them yourself. It got us to thinking then, could we do it? We're not quite.
Yes.
Will we still work? Robert just keeps going, yes. And I keep doing that. I keep coming up with the, yes, but. I have all the buts, you see, and he just keeps going. He's got an answer for everything. So I'm going to ask him questions. He has got an answer for everything about this, because we have been looking into it. We do both work full time. We're not at retirement age yet, but it's coming our way, isn't it? It's heading towards us like some kind of a
Closer to
yes,
some kind of
hurtling,
bullet
like
train.
some missile. So here's the things to consider then, Robert. So they're like apartments where obviously they get the prices depend on where you are and how big the cabin is. So the balcony ones are more expensive than the inside ones, the interior ones. Now the ones we've been looking at, you get all your food, you get the wine and or beer is included with your meal, wasn't it?
Yes.
They do have all activities on board. What else was included? Laundry. Laundry service twice a week.
I don't know whether it's twice a week. It said bi-weekly, so I don't know whether it's twice a week or once every 2 weeks. I'm not sure, because it said the same terminology for your cabin change as well, for all the sheets and the linen. But either way, some laundry and your cabin maintenance is included.
So the things to consider.
Housekeeping, that's the word. Housekeeping, not maintenance.
Would you? So you buy your apartment, but then you have to pay. It's like what you'd have when you have a normal apartment. What do you call it?
Like a body corporate fee.
Like a body corporate fee. You have to
a
pay.
monthly fee.
And the more expensive your apartment, the higher that fee goes as well. So if you have an interior one, it was really inexpensive.
Yeah.
And then the body corporate was really inexpensive.
Yeah, it curious really, because you get the same food, you get the same housekeeping, you get the same laundry, and all the other facilities that are available to you, and the activities. Yet you pay more if you've got and considerably more if you've got a higher class cabin. I'm not sure why. Anyway, we need to research that.
Oh, there's a lot of research to be done, but it just looks so attractive. So, would we sell up the family home, or would we just rent it out, or would we ask the family to look after it, or would we do like an Airbnb? What do you think?
Well, I think if we can get the girls to stay at home, and this is just we haven't spoken to them about it. If we can get the girls to stay at home until retirement, and then we do that from retirement. I'm not sure I can do it for 15 years, to be honest with you. But we get the girls to look after the house. They can live in there rent-free, look after Ruby, and then they can save their money for a deposit. And when we come back, they can then go out and buy their own place or do their own thing.
Yeah. So, what would you do about money? Because you still need money, don't you? Even though everything's sort of included. And if you want to get off and make the best use of all these ports of call,
Well, that's where we need to make sure we've got adequate super, really, isn't it? So we need to make sure that we've got enough money in our superannuation fund to be able to do that.
so over the next few years, our aim is to do some wealth accumulation, is what they call it, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So spend less and save more. But we should be doing that anyway. That should be our aim anyway, to
Absolutely.
do that. Health matters. Now, they will have a doctor on board, a medical centre. However, you're unlikely to get sort of travel insurance or health insurance because you're travelling off around the world. How do you think that would work?
Well, and I noticed when I looked at this particular website, they do have an arrangement for medical and travel insurance. I haven't looked into that yet, but you can get that. We need to have a look into that a lot further, because obviously if you're overseas and you're ill on a boat and you need to get some medical treatment, and maybe they've got a medical centre on board, but they can't necessarily treat everything, and you do need health insurance, you do need some medical insurance to cover medical costs if something happens and you need to be taken off, particularly if it's something like in the USA. So that would be, for me, that would be a biggie, that you need to make sure that you've got adequate medical insurance.
And I think the other thing would be to make sure you're well stocked up with any drugs that you normally take. Make sure that you can pick them up around the world. Maybe make sure that you've got post office box maybe in different places, or kind of these parcel pickup places that you could get your family to deliver your stuff to. Maybe that's
Well,
an arrangement
again,
to do.
there is an arrangement that they have, and it mentions this on the particular website, that they do have an arrangement for parcels and mail.
Ah, okay. So they do that. It's like being in the forces, I guess.
Again, another one that we need to follow up on and have a look and see exactly how that works.
I think if you were going to do something like this, though, the idea would be to be as fit as possible before you started out on this adventure, isn't it?
Yes, because we know how much we eat and drink on just on a week's cruise. Can you imagine if it was a 15-year cruise?
We'd have to be a little bit more discerning about having more fruit and veg, I think, and just not picking out on all the desserts and all the lovely fried food and things. And also, of course, there are ports of call, and there are different places in the world. I was saying to Robert, there are places in the world that are experts in their field of medical procedures. So
Yes.
it may be that you go and get your eyes done in Russia or something, and your teeth done in Thailand or something, I don't know, or plastic surgery, which I think, or facelifts done
Getting quite
in,
right here, am I?
facelifts done in Singapore or something, I don't know. But there are places that are specialists, so you may actually work it out that if you're going to be on board for maybe 7 years or something, that you plot where you're going to have some of these any procedures that you need in your old age. So we've talked about insurance, but I guess the bills, if we're going to keep our house at home, we need to make sure that the bills are being paid. So you'd have just all those on direct debit, wouldn't you?
Well, sort of, but in terms of things like electricity and all those sort of things, if the girls are looking after the house, they can get used to paying those, they'll be using it. So it really is just like your rents and your insurances, I suppose. Not your rent, your rates and your insurance. Which, yes, absolutely, they're on direct debit anyway. We pay all those through direct debit anyway.
I just think, obviously, there's a whole world out there that we still want to explore. So although we do this cruising, we're quite limited in where we cruise at the moment from Australia. There's not that many places unless we fly, and we don't have enough holidays to be able to do all the exploring we want to do. But technology means that the world is a lot smaller, isn't it, as well? So we can keep in touch.
Absolutely, and they do have a business centre on board, this particular one that we were looking at. So you can go and you can work from there, and you get internet access with your monthly fee as well. So
That's a huge boost, isn't it?
it is. So you can still keep in contact with everybody. You can still, we could still do our videos, we could still upload them. And another thing as well, and this is slightly off topic, is because you bought the apartment If you want to just like say come home for Christmas or something, you want to spend a few weeks back at home or even somewhere else, anywhere in the world, you get up at the port, hop on a plane, go and do whatever you need to do, and then hop back on a plane and go back to the ship and rejoin the ship.
Yeah, you don't have to stay on it forever. You can just get on and kind of hop around the world on a plane, or if a country takes your fancy, like somewhere like India or places in Africa, I would love to spend a little bit more time.
That's another thing, isn't it? Although some of the ports are overnighters or 2 or 3 nights, you can absolutely. You could just hop off the ship, spend a week there or 2 weeks, hop on a plane and join it at or a train or whatever it might be, and join it at one of the other ports.
The original Queen Elizabeth II, the QE2, that's the way that operated, because that was a liner and not a cruise ship. And so people got on and off. Some people did have long-term cabins on board that ship. They stayed on for a long time. Do you think you would get bored? Do you think life needs to hold some challenges? You can't be in bliss all the time, can you?
No.
Your brain would turn to mush if you didn't have something to occupy you.
And this is something that we've been talking about. When you're on a cruise, like for 7 or 14 nights or however long it is, and you've got your shows and you do your shows and you've got your different restaurants to go in and you've got your different activities, your trivias, that's fine for a 7 or 14
You can
night
veg
holiday.
out, can't you? You can just kind of chill out and just do nothing.
You cannot do that. You could not do that every day. So I don't know. We need to have a look into this as well. Do the people who live on here, sort of on these ships, create their own clubs or societies? For example, do they make a bridge club or a theatrical club or?
I think you'd have to. We were saying this. We think you'd have to take up something like dancing, like maybe a line dancing or something like that. And I think you'd have to have a routine. So you'd have to go Tuesday, we go and play bridge. Wednesday we go and do line dancing or something. I don't know. You'd take something up, wouldn't you? So you'd take up those hobbies, and you'd go and socialise. You'd make sure you did things every single day that took a little bit of thought, or something that's a little bit more creative. And even though you're online, you wouldn't want to be just sitting on your phones or your iPad and just vegetating out watching videos and things. You'd need to do something, wouldn't you? I think I'd be in the kitchen. I'd be asking chef, can I have a go? Can I cook? Can I prepare dinner tonight for 2,000 people? Nah. I wouldn't.
Well, it's not. The one we were looking at was a lot smaller than that, though. It was only about 600 passengers, so that's a consideration as well, isn't it? A smaller ship, less people.
Yes.
But it does mean to say you can get into ports a lot more ports than the bigger ships can. So
Yes.
you get to see a lot more.
Now, what about family? Do you think family would miss us, or do you think we would miss family? I'm sure we would.
I'm sure we would, and I'm sure they would. But there is an option for them to join you, and you get discounted rates as well. So they can come over and spend a couple of weeks or a week or however long on the ship with you.
Yes,
Or, as I said, you can just hop off, get a flight home, and then rejoin the ship.
there's the airbed. You're allowed to. There's the airbed. Up you go, guys. Knock yourselves out. But you could do. That's what it said you can do. So there's no excuse not to have family come and join you. It's all sounding very, very good, isn't it? Now, one of the big drawbacks, I guess, is what the heck do we do with all our stuff? If any of you are like us, we have accumulated so much stuff over the years, and it would be an excellent opportunity to actually have a good clear out.
Yeah, you would need
good clear out.
to be minimalistic, really.
There are no garages and no sheds on board this cruise ship.
That is true. But it's so close, and because you're travelling sort of different places in the world and different climates, you'd need a range of clothing, wouldn't you?
You would. So you'd have to. I think the bed would have to be very far off the floor, so you can stuff everything underneath the bed. It would have to be like a multi-story bed, I think. Layers of
Now there's a thought.
layers of drawers underneath, so you'd have to be really Yeah, you'd have to kind of have a style, wouldn't you? So you'd just have a few articles of clothing and layer up and things, and to make the most of it. And then I don't know, maybe you'd leave parcels in different locations.
I don't know.
Around the world.
Again, maybe these sorts of ships have some kind of storage facility where you could store some of your winter or your summer stuff. I don't know.
You
Again,
think they do have sheds? You think they've got sheds for hire, don't you?
It's a possibility. It is a possibility. I don't know. It's another thing that we need to put on the list of things to investigate.
So that was my list. I'm sure there's a million other things to think about, but that was just a very short. We've been talking about it, and we don't want to have like these fantasies about having things in our retirement that we never actually do. Some people say they're going to go around in a kind of a motorhome, don't they, and caravan and do those sort of things. This was just a different option for us that we thought that would suit us right down.
It is a possibility, and something that we may very well, or we will look into a little bit more. The questions that we've just raised now, we'll definitely have a look into that and see if we can find some answers, because they're all relevant as to whether it's a serious consideration or not. And
regardless of whether we do that or something else, just holiday, maybe we just have our home as a base and we just do longer holidays, which is what we'd love to do. We want to see more of the world. Both of us did a bit of travelling in our youth, and then of course work and family and life just gets in the way. But either way, we're going to have to get fit. We're going to have to get fitter. And
fitter than I already am.
Yes.
My goodness.
By golly, is it possible, darling? Fitter than what we already are, and wealth accumulation. This is the thing. Stop wasting money. We do get to a stage now where we think we would never have wasted money like this years ago. So, and saving money. So it's being a little bit more tighter.
Yes.
Let's be a bit tighter with our money.
Absolutely.
So that we've got more to enjoy our leisure time.
Absolutely.
So we may do a few videos along the way. We did start doing a cruise fit last year. That lasted all of about 3 weeks. And then we gave up. So I'm determined this year that we're going to do it. We're going to stick at it. So hopefully you'll join us for those videos. And wealth accumulation as well, how to kind of save money and make more money. I think probably most people would be up to seeing those ideas. There's plenty online. It's just some of it is a load of guff and some of it works. So we'll be trying it out and letting you guys know which works and which is just a load of.
Okay, next in our series of foreign language translations, guff is an English word.
I keep giving you these. Do you not use guff in Australia?
Guff is an English word for flannel, rubbish, nonsense.
Flim flam? Do you use flim flam?
Yeah, similar sort of thing.
You know, they know what I mean. They know me now. They understand these kind of things. Anyway, but we'll kind of try them out and we'll let you know as we go.
Yeah, we'll follow up on this, absolutely. If you've liked this video, please hit like, please hit subscribe and hit the notification button if you want to see more of our videos on all of our cruise and travel topics. We'll see you in the next video from the beautiful beach of Mystery Island in Vanuatu. Bye for now.
I'm going for a swim.
I'm going for a swim too.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye now.
Oh, honey, I got